Good afternoon. So this presentation is from WCS, tackling growing problem of crop raiding by primates. And the case study is in southern highlands of Tanzania. I'll show you in the next slide. Here is the area of concern. You can see the blob there. It's close to Lake Nyasa. And it's a area between Rungwe Nature Reserve and the Kitulo National Park. It's a very important area because it has a lot of animal species that only dwells here. And some animals dwells here and some very few other places like Punji monkey. And it's an area of very high population density. There are a lot of villages around these areas that are farmers. Here are the species of importance that I will talk about. First and foremost, it's Kipunji monkey, Rungwesebas kipunji. There are very few of them, very rare monkey. It's found in Rungwe, Kitulo, and just another spot in Kilombero Nature Reserve. And in total, they are just like less than 1,500 worldwide. Black and white colobus and the Sykes monkey, Thecopithecus metis. Problem with our area is people cultivate just up to the forest edge. There are no buffer zone between farms and the forest. So all farms goes to the forest edge. This is one. Two, most people don't cultivate their own farms. So for instance, all this, there are big areas that are owned by other people and just people are cultivating very, very small areas. And the land itself is very much fragmented. People own maybe 1 acre or 2 acres, not that much. Nobody has like 20 acres of a farm together. So it's very highly fragmented and each one goes to the forest edge. That brings very big challenge with the monkeys that I showed above. So in our work, first and foremost, we started by looking where the most important areas of crop raiding, and you can see all over the place there are crop raiding. And as an indicator of how tight population is here, each one of these are villages, and you can see that most of them are less than 5 kilometers apart. So just 4 or 3 kilometers, it's a village, and it's packed by people, and they cultivate up the forest edge. And especially Kipunji and the Moloi monkeys are the ones that are really do the crop raiding. Yeah, mainly they cultivate maize and yams close to the shambas, and all these crops are very much raided by the monkeys. Crop raiding, it's especially when harvesting time of maize and all the day. I'll show you in the coming slide the number of how much they raid per day. And as a result of crop raiding, there are a lot of retaliatory hunting to the primates. A lot of them are snared. As I told you earlier, that the number is very low, but the communities mainly use a lot of snares to snare these monkeys so that they stop them from going to their farms. Traditionally, people had mitigation measures to tackle the problem of crop raiding. The biggest one was sacrificing their children to go and guard maize. So children all the day stay at the farm instead of going to school. Second is they tie dogs in forest edge because the farms are just in the forest edge. So dogs are tied in the forest so that monkeys, when they come, they bark to the monkeys. They used scarecrow, and also they cleared reserve parts that have trees so that monkeys would not go to the farm through the trees. So those are the methods that traditionally they were using. And most of them had very bad impacts because, for instance, even the dogs, when you see them, they are really weak because they are tied in the farms. Kipunji crop raiding is very bad because not only in the farms, but it can go also to the storehouses. Go inside, take maize, and you can see they are eating them here, scattered. So it's really very expensive. We tested a number of methods to mitigate crop raiding. The first one was scarecrow, as they did, but we did it in a better way, changing positions and shapes. We had a mixture of cow dung and chili together, and we smear them in the maize cobs, and using bee box so that whether they can be scared by bees when they pass. We used cow dung and chili, and we smoked it so that maybe the monkeys could fear the smoke. And also we had Sisonate with chili in it, and they put in the farms. And also it had, we used also, there was also a bell that attached to the net so that if a monkey hit it, it can scare it away. So here how the methods performed. When we used bee boxes, you can see that bee box and cowbell, there were a number of visits to the farms. Monkeys still go to the farms, Kipunji, especially also the Metis monkeys. Cow dung and chili, they visited still the farms. All the methods that we used, the monkeys still went to the farm, but this was very much low compared to the farms that are not guarded. The visits were very much high. I'll show you in the next slide a bit. So generally, crop raiding was daily. As I said, these are how it happened. Let me just go to the next slide. Here also are how we tested it. Those are the farms, farm 1 to farm 7. Here are the methods from the bee boxes, cow dung and so on. You can see them, they are mentioned here. But I would just like to indicate that in all the methods, there were still visits to the farms. But I just want to take your attention to the farm 2 and farm 3. This test was done in 2012, but in 2009, we tested farm 2 and farm 3 to see how crop raiding was intensive. We had 28 days of testing. In 14 days, we just left the farms alone so that monkeys can go however they want. We compensated the farmers, of course. And we realized that in farm 2 and farm 3 alone, there were like 1,200 cobs of maize when they are freely parting. That was for 14 days. And next 14 days, we let the farmer guard the maize as they do always. And at the end of 2 weeks, we had like 900 cobs that were stolen, especially when even if the farmer is there. So to have these methods tested for 33 days in 7 farms and only 582 visits to the farms, it's really a high protection compared even to when a person is there in the farm. Because sometimes you'll go to cook, sometimes you'll go to visit a friend and they'll sneak out in the farm. So, in our tests, we realized that the Moloi monkeys are the bigger crop raiding than Kipunji, because especially there are plenty of them compared to Kipunji. Mitigation tested showed that to be effective than traditional methods, as I pointed out. Both species habituated to bee boxes. If you put bee boxes, they'll just learn in short time, and it was the least effective method to protect the farms. The cowbell was a little bit effective, and the cow dung and chili was good. Cobs that were smeared with the cow dung and chili, they were very good, and they were very well protected. Even if they were taken, they were just thrown out. I should mention here, trouble is, again, the land is fragmented, so you need all of you to to apply the measure. If somebody just ignores his farm and they didn't put anything, monkeys will go through his farm too, maybe far away in your farm that you didn't protect it. So that fragmentation of the farms is really the main problem and big challenge to this one. Scarecrow was effective, but you need to shift, change shapes, and make much more real. Time and again, don't put, as they traditionally do, put one there. For a long time, you will see monkeys going to play with it. So that's... We tried again to do alternative crops for the farms. I'll go again to my first point. Most farmers don't own the land. The land is owned maybe by missionaries. For instance, they had bigger chunk of land and they can allow you to cultivate. When you are allowed to cultivate in such kind of a farm, you will not be allowed to cultivate permanent crop. You'll just have to plant crops that are short-lived. And most people that own farms sometimes do not cultivate. They just lend people, you can just cultivate this year, I'll do next year. Or maybe cultivate and then give me something. So that's what is happening really. And for that case, you cannot really say that maybe we can just take this farm to some plantation of eucalyptus or pines. That cannot work because the farmer does not own the land in most of the areas. So we just did planted chili and garlic as alternative crops, and people loved it, and it has a lot of return, so it was really good. But again, it needed all people to do it together. Some people don't like it. Some people are very traditional. They just want to cultivate what they can harvest and eat. They don't want to cultivate what they can sell and buy something else. So those were our alternative crops. Yeah, it's the same, the alternative crops and how we did it to farm. It shows just how farmers farmed the crops in the area. That's chili. The most effective mitigation method, cow dung and chili. Those are, as I mentioned before, that they were the most effective methods. And for those ones, we just developed some promotion material to promote them to villagers. That is one of kind of the posters that we did so that people should know how to do it, how to apply, and how effective is the method. Challenges, as I said before, adapting. Some people, even if you sell them very good thing, they will not adapt easily. They just go to their traditional means. They don't really take these new things very quickly. So that's a problem. Some people applies it, some still go for the traditional. They just wait to tie their dog in the farms. Thank you very much.
Congratulations on being so brave and trying to tackle primates.